Ron and Russell Mael of Sparks.
This is Ron Mael from Sparks.
And this is Russell Mael from Sparks. And we'll be hosting for the next hour on First Wave.
And I'm sitting here in my dungeon in the greater West Los Angeles area and trying to do something creative, anything creative, but nothing is really happening at the moment. I have to be perfectly honest with you, because my mind keeps drifting off to more pleasant times and more pleasant places. And one of those more pleasant places was a cafe in the Roppongi Hills area of Tokyo, where American music was blasting over the sound system. And the song that I most recall hearing was Fight for Your Right to Party by Beastie Boys. It sounded so amazing in Tokyo, both incongruous and then natural at the same time. So here is Fight for Your Right to Party, Beastie Boys.
This is Russell Mael from Sparks. That was Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth by Martin Gore of Depeche Mode. Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth is a Sparks song, and it was originally done by Depeche Mode as just a demo on a flexi disc that they had released to their fan club members at one Christmas way back when. And on that version, Dave Gahan was doing the lead singing, but on this one that we just heard, it's an official release by Martin Gore doing the lead singing on Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth, a Sparks cover.
This is Ron Mael from Sparks. We haven't done a lot of collaborations through the years with other bands, but one band that we have worked with is the great band Faith No More. We love Faith No More. And when it came time for us to do an album that was reworkings of our older material, an album called Plagiarism, we quickly ran to Faith No More and were pleasantly surprised when they actually said that they were interested in doing it. And the two bands combined forces for recording two songs together. One of our older songs called This Town Ain't Big Enough for Both of Us, and the other one was called Something for the Girl with Everything. We were also thrilled when there were two occasions when they allowed us to come on stage for an encore and do those two songs live, one time in London and one time in Los Angeles. So in any case, this is pre-Mike Patton, Faith No More, doing We Care a Lot.
This is Russell Mael from Sparks, and you've just heard Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, parentheses, A Deal with God, end of parentheses. Unfortunately, Kate has never toured in the States, and she's toured a couple times in the UK, but it's a real pity that no one here has ever been able to see her live. We had one small interaction with her, well, at least an interaction on paper. We were staying at the same hotel as she was in the 70s in Paris, and we thought we would slip her a note to say how much we, Sparks, had admired her. And to our amazement, we got a letter back from her, slipped under our door saying, "Hey, Sparks, I'm a fan of yours as well. Our life was made."
This is Ron Mael from Sparks, and you are listening to Sirius XM, First Wave. As I sit here in my West Los Angeles dungeon in total quarantine, there's one thing on my mind, and something that I think must be on the minds of many others that are in quarantine at this very moment. No, it's not a meal from Postmates. It's not a film streamed through Netflix or Amazon. It's something much deeper than that. Angst in My Pants. Here is Angst in My Pants by Sparks.
This is Russell Mael from Sparks, and you just heard Joey Ramone on one of his solo albums doing Maria Bartiromo. And Maria is a newscaster in New York, and apparently Joey had an infatuation with her. We were good friends with Joey and also friends with some of the other guys in the Ramones, and I had the good fortune to be invited to sing with them on one of their albums. So on their album Pleasant Dreams, I sing background on two of their songs, and that's something that I'll always cherish.
This is Ron Mael from Sparks, and you were listening to Sirius XM, First Wave. One of my favorite records of all time is a song that was over the opening of Spike Lee's incredible film Do the Right Thing, where Rosie Perez is out in the street shadow boxing, and there's this huge cacophony of sound behind her, and that cacophony of sound is Public Enemy's Fight the Power, a truly incredible marriage of cinema and sound. It was extraordinary, and it's an extraordinary record just by itself. One of my dreams is for there to be a collaboration someday between Public Enemy and Sparks, and we played a festival in Spain several years ago, and I sheepishly brought up that idea to Chuck D, and at least he was polite enough to seem open to it, so I hope at some point that can happen. So here is Fight the Power by Public Enemy.
That was Kraftwerk and Boing Boom Chak. Kraftwerk are, a really amazing conceptual band, electronic, but working in their own specific area that was so amazing. And live, they're just pretty spectacular, their entire show. So it was really sad to hear of the death of Florian Schneider recently, one of the original members.
Hi, this is Ron Mail from Sparks, coming at you from my quarantine dungeon somewhere here in the greater Los Angeles area. One question a lot of us have these days is, should I stay or should I go? A question asked much earlier by The Clash. We never got to work with The Clash, and we never got to play with The Clash, but the one connection we do have with them is that in 2003, Uncut Magazine, a British music magazine, asked quite a few artists if they would like to do a cover version of a Clash song, and we decided to do a cover version of We Are The Clash. So you can search for that on the deep areas of the internet if you're so inclined. In any case, here's The Clash with Should I Stay or Should I Go?
That was Music That You Can Dance To by Sparks. That was off of our album, which was also called Music That You Can Dance To. And it was also featured in the BMX bicycle-themed movie Rad in 1986. About the only person that I can remember from that movie was Talia Shire, who is Jason Schwartzman's mother. Hello, Jason. Jason's our buddy. And to make it all come full circle, Jason also has a show on Sirius XM.
This is Ron Mail from Sparks, and you were listening to Sirius XM First Wave. I'm sitting here in my dungeon in outer West Los Angeles and trying to find things to do. And one thing that's entertained me is going back to records that I enjoyed in the past, and one that was one of my favorites was definitely Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I mean, I like cheesy sounding records, and I like incredible sounding records as well. And this is definitely of the latter variety, produced by Trevor Horn, and a huge hit in Britain, despite it being banned by the BBC after the BBC, in its infinite wisdom, finally realized what the song was really about. One of the bits of trivia attached to the song, at least with regard to Sparks, is that Paul Rutherford of Frankie Goes to Hollywood appeared in our 1994 video for our song, When Do I Get to Sing My Way? So there is a connection. Here's Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
This is Russell Mail from Sparks, and you just heard Orinoco Flow by Enya. That's one of those rare songs that comes along very infrequently that just strikes a nerve worldwide, and it was such a massive hit, and it really was a special song that was in its own unique little world. There's a line in it also that's really obscure, and it's referring to a guy named Rob Dickens, and he's name-checked by Enya in this, and Rob Dickens was the head of the record label at that time, and he may have also had something to do with managing as well. I'm not exactly sure, but also a little bit of trivia that relates to Sparks yet again. Rob Dickens was Sparks' live booking agent during the 70s when we lived in London, so it was really kind of cool to get to hear his name check in Enya's Orinoco Flow.
This is Ron Mail from Sparks, and you were listening to Sirius XM First Wave. If you'll permit me to indulge in a little self-promotion, this is a song from our new album, A Steady Drip, Drip, Drip. During this period of self-isolation, I long for a return to the great outdoors, and what better way to spend time in the great outdoors than to mow your lawn. So here is a song that is a hymn to lawn mowing, a song called Lawnmower by Sparks.
The car crash set.
That was Warm Leatherette by The Normal, and The Normal was actually Daniel Miller. Daniel Miller was the head of the very cool UK label named Mute Records, and Mute was the home to a lot of great artists like Depeche Mode, Erasure, Nitzer Ebb, and this was a really cool song of his. And I think it's cool also that guy that runs a label that has all those cool bands also did some music projects, and this was one of the cool ones, Warm Leatherette. So on behalf of myself, Russell Mail, and my brother Ron Mail of Sparks, we want to say we had a really great time hosting this hour on Sirius XM First Wave, and we hope that we can be with you again in the real near future. Take care. Bye-bye.